We move into 089, which we call our foreign branded brake pads. We actually have a banner that we put together, which we take to trade shows and to other places and customers and warehouse shows to show. This is a very popular brand. What drove this category? We found out that technicians were going back to dealers to buy their brake pads. And we did this because we do have focus groups. We do make installer visits. We actually go out and we also make some other calls. In fact, I'll tell a little story. I was in a shop in Canada, and I noticed the technician was actually had a file, and he was filing the ends of the brake pad because it wouldn't fit properly. It wasn't our pads. And so we were just in the middle of the program of trying to put this brake pad program together. And so I noticed him filing. I asked him why, and he says, well, because it won't fit in the caliper properly because the way they stamp the steel on these ends. So I said, what can we do to fix that? And really what it came down to is that we go with a double stamp. When this backing plate is stamped, the press comes down and presses it this way and presses this mold. Then we flip the pad over again, and then it presses it this way, and it makes a really fine cut. So the technician doesn't have to do any sanding or filing or sanding. So it's a perfect fit, and this is really where we took a little bit of extra detail to make sure that we got a proper fit. You know, nothing's worse than seeing an installer having to do a little bit of extra work to make your parts fit. That's not the way to go. But getting back to the 089 series, I spoke earlier about our sample parts library. We have original product for all the products that we carry, as well as vendor and manufacturer and competitor. So we started hearing about the fact that these installers are going back to the dealer. What can we do to help them? Let's find out by looking at the brake pads they're buying. We have all the brake pads that they're getting. We looked at them. This is a sample of a Mercedes-Benz. This is the original equipment. There are attributes on here that match entirely to this, which is our brand. It's the exact same pad from the exact same manufacturer. On here is a company name and a part number, and on here is the exact same company name and part number. Shims match, rose clips match, material match, it's identical. So I've got a solution. We can keep the installer from going back to the dealer by offering them the 089 series of brake pads. Got another one here where this is actually an original equipment pad for a Lexus application. It doesn't come with shims though. A lot of people think if they go back to the dealer, they're going to get pads with shims, and that's not true. But we know through talking with our installer base and our customers and visiting with these focus groups, making these calls to these shops, the technicians want shims. We're going to put shims in the box. We use a rubber coated metal shim, and in fact, you don't even hear any metal. It's a real dull rubber, faint sound, which is good. Also, this strip in here comes off, so you have glue. So we have glue and clips holding this shim in place, just to add a protection. These are blue, these are black. Okay, we'll let OE have their glory in blue. We'll take the black, that's fine. All the attributes are the same, all the part numbers are the same. The wear clip is in the same location, everything to a T. So we've actually given them an option. The one thing that we do different though, we'll tell you in our catalog exactly what brand you're putting on that specific vehicle, front and rear. And there also could be instances where Sumitomo is on the front and you could put Hitachi on the rear. We don't know, not until we actually get the original part in here and we check out who the vendors are. So there are those areas where you could put two different manufacturers on a car. And again, we put the shims in the package. A lot of our competitors do not do that, but we know the technicians really want shims. So I just showed you the Hitachi. This doesn't come with shims either, but we'll add them. The shims are in the package, okay? And we pack those here in Smyrna, Tennessee, making sure that we can fulfill our needs at our warehouse and our customer base. So what happens if the shims don't fit in the package from original equipment? Well, what we do is we'll then put the manufacturer's pads in our box, and we'll add the shims as well. Okay? Because if I open this up, there isn't any room to put shims in this box. Not at all. And we certainly don't want to have to tape boxes and glue boxes back together again. So what we did was, to maintain the integrity of the program, because we don't want the technician asking how come they didn't get the OE box. So we go ahead and put that box inside ours, and we add the shims, and put our label on the back, and we're ready to go. The integrity and program's intact, the technician's got shims, we're ready to rock. And with that, you see a good balance of coverage in our 089 series, as well as our entire brake category. So you remember, 071 kits, 072 hydraulics, 077 calipers, 073 is hoses. 080 series is going to be your friction and your metal. So we can give you good coverage and make sure that we do the job right, giving you the necessary pieces per the application and being specific about that.